Hello, creative friends. I'm so happy to be with you. So, I have a fun project. I was inspired by a post that I saw on Instagram, which was all about this organization that sends cards to people that need them. Maybe they're terminally ill or going through something, and a little card kind of brightens their day. So I wanted to make a couple, and I'll have the information linked below. If you want to join us, that would be great. But I just love to use my art to bring joy to people. I think that that's very important. So I have some upcycled cards from the thrift store. You can find a lot of cards that you can give new life to at the thrift store. So that's what I'm going to use here. I may or may not be able to use them. We'll see. These were specially printed by someone and they donated them. But I can cover this up with a label or something. So I'm not too worried about that. And then I also found these. I hope that they work out. They are like postcards or index cards. So I'm going to see if they fit on top of the base. And they were $2.99 and they're completely new, as you can see. Lots of people have ideas for projects and they never get around to them. So one of the great suggestions that I have always told anyone who's on a budget when they're creating or if they just want to find great supplies is to not sleep on the thrift store or yard sales. You'd be surprised at what you can find. So let's open these and see if they will work out for our cards. So they come here and they're perforated. You can also order these on Amazon. I'll link them below in case you're interested, but let's just see if I think it might be almost the perfect size. It really is. So I can just trim them off, but you'll just kind of measure your cards and then just, you know, attach another piece of paper on top of them and you're ready to go for this process. So I think these will work out. I am going to make some positive message cards or hopeful message cards. So I'm going to grab, maybe I'll make 8 cards for you on camera. Okay, and then I'll make some more later on. But I'm just going to grab some acrylic paint and we're going to do this really fun process, and you've probably seen me do this before. I'm trying to see if I have fine, but I made these little dangles, and they're just like, it's just color blocking and mark making, and it's super simple. So that's what we're going to do. So just grab some acrylic paints, whatever colors you want, and we're going to lay down some color. Very messy. So I'm going to do some warm colors and cool colors. So I have some warm here, or some cool there. You'll do those. Just pick whichever colors speak to you. And don't overthink this process. It's totally fine. I have a brush that I'm going to use, but you could use a credit card. And because these are perforated, I can just tear them apart. So I'm not too worried about really anything. You can't do this wrong. We're just going to do some color blocking. So I'm just putting down little dabs of color. You can also put it on a palette too. I'll show you both ways. And I like to add a little bit of white too. And because I'm working in warm and cool color families, I don't have to worry about things mixing. So just a little bit of paint. Yellow is kind of a magical color. It can be warm or cool. This one's stuck. I think it's on its last leg. Let's do a little bit of this purple. Alrighty, just like that. Then we're going to grab our brush. Hopefully I didn't add too much color. And we're going to go in and spread the color around. So, I mean, you could do this with your kids, right? So I'm just going to the spots that have the lime green. And then I'm going to go into the turquoise because I know if those two mix together, it will be fine. Oops, I got a little bit of purple. That's okay. I'll put it down here. But we just want a layer of kind of messy color. I think I am going to try a little just straight turquoise. I think that'll be pretty too. And this is not a heavy paper, so you will have to use you know, quite a bit of glue, but I'm just not overthinking it. I'm just kind of moving things in all different directions. And then we can add in a little bit of white, and that will kind of take on some of the colors. I don't know about you, my white is always clogged. I'm gonna have to open this baby up. There's always like a big piece of dried paint there. And I put the top on. You guys know sometimes I don't do that, but this time I've been making sure. So that was an easy fix. I always have like a skewer that's full of paint like this, and it's because I use it for that till I can't use it anymore. Alrighty. There we go. I think we should be good. I better put the top on properly. I'm going to have white paint all over the place. There we go. Alrighty. Okay, and I'm going to let you watch the process. I don't want this video to be too long. I think we're at almost 10 minutes, and then we'll move on to the next process. Okay, but I'm going to let you watch me. So let's just add a little bit of color here. I'm also going to add some splatters. I'm saying that, but maybe I'll just leave the camera on and it'll just be a long one. That's okay. Maybe I'll make a quicker version of the process. That's a great idea in a short. That's what we'll do. And I can share that on Instagram, so that works out. That's what we'll do. So I'm just going to keep working here, so I'm just not overthinking it. There's a little bit of purple on here, so I can go into the white and add a bit of purple. Add some here, maybe. Perfect. I just want some pretty areas, right, for things to go through. And I got a little bit of color on there, so I'm just going to kind of wipe that off. And then I'll just get a clean sheet for my warm one. And I'll probably like this one the most, this leftover one. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and rinse off my brush, and I'm going to add a few little splatters. There are some more areas that I do want to fill up with color, but I don't mind if the splatters get mixed in a little bit. Okay, so let me add a little bit of green in a couple places. I think over here we need a little bit more green. And I want to add some of this dark, this is Tuscan teal. It's such a pretty color. As you can see, I love it. It's almost out. Let's add a little bit there too, maybe right in here. So just the areas that don't have a lot of paint on, that's where I'm going to add this. And I think that the splatters should be okay. They'll mix in a little bit, but that's okay. I'm going to grab another brush just because I want that teal to be a little bit pure. Add a little bit here, a little bit here. Here a bit, down there a bit, and over in here. Perfect. Okay. And let's add the lime green a bit. Just like that. Okay. And I'm just going to take my brush and just make kind of a washy layer of color. Maybe this one will be a little softer. Alrighty, and I'm going to take my brush and add some more splatters. If the splatters are too big, you can take like a paper towel, like that's kind of crazy town. We can go in and just dab them off a bit. Gives kind of a cool look too. Alrighty. And I'm going to add just a little bit of white to this area. I'm not loving that, so we're going to go in and add a bit of something there. Kind of mix together, give it kind of a mixy, lighter tone. There we go. That should work, I think. And don't overthink it. You're just adding just splatters or just little areas of color. So you can't do this wrong. I mean, you can even do it with your kids and it will turn out great. So that's the way it looks. I'm going to set this aside to dry completely, and then I'm going to come in with my markers. So just grab your favorite markers, pens, colored pencils, whatever you want to use. It will work out. We're going to keep this nice and simple. Okay, creative friends, so it's all dried, and this is the warm one that I did, and this is the one where I just cleaned off my brush. So this one needs to dry a little bit more, but let's work on this one. So you're just going to start making marks. I like to kind of keep my marks limited to the different color families. I just think that makes it a little bit easier. So maybe in this one I'll make a mark, and in the purple I'll make a mark, and in light blue I'll make another mark. And like I said, you can use anything for this process. Don't overthink it. It's going to be totally fine. You can just add lines. This is a gold metallic pencil. Maybe up here I'll add a few little lines. And you can use really anything for this process. Ball pens work, colored pencils, crayons, if your kids are doing this with you, will work just fine too. But just have fun and add some marks, okay? And you've seen me do this so many times, probably more than what you would like, but it's so much fun. I'm going to add some pink dots here. And don't overthink it. Just have fun. I think that it's important to add contrast, so I will be adding in some bold black marks. But that's just what I like. Maybe you don't like that, and that's totally fine. So do whatever you like. Alrighty, so I'm going to just let you watch me do this part, and hopefully I will inspire you and give you some ideas for things that you can do. So I hope you enjoyed it. It was pretty fun. So now let's tear these apart. They're nice and dry, and you can keep adding marks and layers. I'm going to stop here because I can doodle forever. Okay? And we're going to just rip these apart like so. You grab your card bases. And sorry, the video did cut out, so you didn't get to see me doing all the marks. But like I said, there's lots of videos of me making marks, so you can go check one of those out. So we're just going to tear these apart, and this will make 8 cards, and I have warm and cool backgrounds. And once you get kind of these master sheets together, you can use them to just create so many cool things, including cards. So instead of buying cards, you can make your own. And these you can put happy birthday on these, whatever you want. It will work out great. I'm actually going to make a batch of these to put in my Etsy store too. I haven't done them in a while. They were so much fun. So I'm going to make more. Okay, you should do the things that make you happy. So I just have some positive or encouraging messages. This is a printable that I created, but feel free to make your own. I do have one in my Etsy shop if you're interested, but if not, that's okay. You can totally make your own. Just open a Google Doc and think of some positive words that you want to say to other people. So super simple. And then I just stick them on. You can cut them apart. You can make them into one word. This. So I'm just like getting words that I think will be encouraging. So hope anyway, today is a fresh start. Be still, have courage. That might be a good message that someone needs to hear that's going through a hard time. It's always a struggle, isn't it? Because you'd never want to undermine someone's pain. You know, and it's easy to say these messages, but sometimes it's really hard for people that are sick to believe them, or for this to give them any comfort. And I'm so grateful for the time that I worked in the hospital, because you get to see that, you know, that sometimes it's better to be silent, you know, and not try to say kind of things to make people feel better. Sometimes it's nice to just be with them, you know, when they're having a hard time. But hopefully these will at least put a smile on their face, I hope. I'm being kind of selective about the ones that I'm choosing. So yeah, so just keep that in mind when you're creating and giving, you know, things of encouragement to people. And don't take it, you know, personal if they don't respond well. Okay. Oh, when you're in pain, it can make you into a completely different person. So, you know. But I still try to do as much as I can to bring people a little bit of happiness that are having a difficult moment. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and glue these on. I think I have 8. Alrighty. Okay, and you can use anything. I'm going to use my Deco Arts Decoupage glue, but Mod Podge will work. Even Elmer's glue, all will work. This thing is always stuck. Let's see if I can get it. There we go. Alrighty. And I mean, 99% of people are going to see, you know, that you meant it to be kind and thoughtful, but, you know, if someone's having a hard day, it can be hard, you know, and unfortunately sometimes we take it out on the wrong people. So don't feel encouraged if that's been your experience. So you are enough, and I'm going to be sure to kind of keep the message kind of off the edges because I do have to trim these a little bit. Remember, my cards didn't exactly fit, so I'm going to kind of think about where I'm putting these. So it's going to be more like in the center. But especially when you make cards, it's such a beautiful thought. And, you know, I hope that people know that when they get a handmade card that there was a lot of love and thought and prayers that went into the process. So I think that helps too. So we're going to go ahead and stick these on. And, you know, I'm sure the message, whoever's supposed to get the message will receive it, right? So, yeah. Divine providence, the universe, whatever you believe, I think it will work out. You can even, you know, seal in. Very good. Okay, be still. And let's do one more. Since I have you here, we'll do this one. And I'm going to go ahead. I think that one of these probably has dried off enough, so I can kind of just show you the process because, yeah, so you're not here all day long. Okay. Okay, hold on to peace. We'll use that one. So all we're going to do is just put some tape on the front of the card. So if you have a upcycled card, you can just take it and do that. And if you have cards, you know, that are blank inside, this is a great way to reuse them. Why isn't this tape runner working? I might have to grab another one. Or double-sided sticky tape. That's weird. Weird, weird, weird. Okay, well, I don't know. Maybe it got stuck. There we go. I had a piece of gunk on there, so just going to take my card. And I just apply it all over the card base. Now stick this on top like that. Like that, wherever you want it. Perfect, and then I'll just give it a press. I'm being a little bit careful because that's not fully dry, but I've kept you guys long enough, I think. Just make sure that the edges are matched up. That's kind of the most important thing, or at least the edge over here. And if you need to, you can kind of pull it up and maybe sneak a little bit of glue into places. Might be better for a glue stick. And I'm doing this faster. Of course, you'll take your time. Make sure that everything is right. Okay, so I'm just going to trim off the excess. You can kind of open the card and then you can see a little better too. Just like that. If we have a little bit on the edge here, just be careful not to cut the fold. Believe me, I've done that before, so just be careful. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? It's fine. Handmade does not have to be perfect, at least not in my book. Okay, and then we'll do this. Just going to go in a little bit on the edges. I did not do a good job of applying that tape runner, did I? But look at how pretty this is. Very nice. Very nice. And if you wanted to, you could go in and add more marks or splatters or whatever you want. I'm keeping it simple. But I'm always surprised at what marks end up kind of on what background. I think that's so interesting. Just going to press that a little bit. And like I said, this does have, you know, a marking on it. So you can cover that up with paint or a piece of paper maybe. And I want it to kind of be a little bit imperfect, that it looks like it was intentional. Okay. I want to kind of be careful to make sure that nothing like this has a cuss word on it. That's not good. So wait for this. Okay, but yeah, it's still usable, right? It's just that, oops, there we go. Maybe I'll do that, and then I'll add a bit of washi tape too. And you can write the date on it. They're blank on the inside, so I don't have to worry too much. But it looks nice. Just like that. So I hope that you make a bunch of these cards. I will have the information to the organization that is asking for cards for people that could just use a little brightness in their life right now. So I hope that you'll join me. If you try this, please tag me on Instagram so I can see your beautiful cards, and I will see you next time. Let me know if you have any questions. Also, let me know in the comments. Hopefully you will let me know what other videos you would like me to make so that I can get on that. And I will see you guys next time. I'm going to be making all these lovely cards that you see here. So, alrighty. Bye bye. Have a great day. Happy creating.